Okay.
Welcome back to...
What episode is it? What? See, look, this isn't right in your face. Chill.
Episode 5.
Even though I don't want to see your face, you're going to complain later on that it was covering.
Honestly, I'm not really, I'm not in the mood to record.
Okay, go. Most of the time it's me talking anyways. Well,
Stupid, bro.
yeah, our friend is behind the camera again.
Acquaintance.
You can't hear him. On
Actually,
the
no,
microphone.
you could hear him last time. If you had headphones on, you could hear it. It wasn't good.
I wasn't trying to hear him, so I don't know.
Man, so what episode are we on right now?
So this time,
5th or 6th?
5.
It's not 5, it's 6.
6, I think.
It's no, man. Now you gotta check now.
No idea. Last time he came and he ate all the cake. If
This
you
time
remember,
he came and ate all the Oreos.
do you remember? No, do you remember he ate all the cake?
all the chocolate cake.
I
too,
put-
I know.
I had cake brought down so everybody could share. This guy goes and takes the plate, puts it right in front of himself,
Episode 6.
and
today.
eats it all.
6 weeks of a rebrand.
Of a rebrand.
6 weeks of the rebrand. We used to be Sprawl Podcast, but times change.
Give it up, boy.
Conflict of interest sometimes.
What's the conflict of interest?
We got copyrighted too
For what?
by him. he wanted the name, but he took it, so he's actually at the real Sprawl Podcast right now.
Why is he Sprawl Podcast? He doesn't even do anything.
He's Sprawl on guys.
I told his dad was here yesterday, right? And he was like, "Oh, what is this thing?" Right? I was like, "Oh, it's this setup prop stuff, blah blah blah." We do like a weekly thing, and I told him, I was like, "Yo, you should do like a poetry thing using the setup." And then you know what he did? He goes to his phone and he starts playing these audio clips. I'm like, "What the hell is this?" It's like birds singing all together, and it's him he starts talking, and he has like hours and hours of poetry of himself.
But that's what
I was like, "What the hell?"
That's what these guys do.
Just like this, he pulled it out.
If you had honor, you would give him the mic.
Tell him he had it was. I don't know how he was doing it. I think he probably used some app or something where he like plays music.
Well, it definitely wasn't his computer. It's a slimy computer, bro. What is that?
Leave the poor guy alone. I'm trying to talk about his
Poor guy,
his father and
bro,
poetry.
listen, this guy, poor guy. This guy makes you call him 5 times when he's online on WhatsApp, and he won't respond to you, bro. Poor guy. More like dishonorable guy, bro.
He wants you to chase him. That's the type of guy he is. He wants.
Are we gay? Like, are we gay? Like, is a girl we're chasing, or is it a
Nothing.
guy?
It's not like there's anything wrong with that, but like, he wants you to chase him. He wants you to call him and miss him and say, be like,
Yo,
"Hey,
you're
where
so
are
sus.
you? Where are you? Send me a picture."
God.
It's true. Is it not true?
It's true, but
How many? I called him 2 times, and I messaged him about like 10 times.
goddamn.
No more than 10. I refuse to message him. Message
Per
him
day,
that much.
it's a cap.
Bro, how nice would it be if he just came on his own, and then like without us like hounding him and stuff? How fun would that be?
I think that's when you know he's finally completed his transformation
To what?
Into a man.
Yeah. There's other ways that he could transform into a man as well, but
Yo, it's so sus, bro.
that's none
Yo,
of my business.
How about the Oreos though?
What Oreos?
What do you mean? What Oreos?
These Oreos. So I was at the store yesterday, and I was like, you know what? These are on sale, and like Ahad's coming tomorrow. So I was like, you know what? It'll be so nice. Let me go give him some Oreos. This guy grabs it from my hand and eats.
Show them the inside.
And he eats all of it. He leaves one. He's like, hey, I'm gonna be honorable. I'll leave you one of them.
He's talking about Oreos. This guy had 3 junior chickens, bro. 3.
3?
Yeah, cause I got 5.
Yeah, but he ate one too.
I had 1 too. Where?
No, you had 2.
I had 1. Wallah, he had 1.
How many did you have before
1.
coming here?
1.
That's a lot.
I swear I had 1.
So how many did you get in total?
5. And then
Huh?
I had 1 at home. No, listen. So I had 1 at home.
Wait. How'd you get 5 and I ate 3 and he?
Cause I had 1 at home already. And then I
You
got 5
live
more.
at a McDonald's?
No, I got it. Yeah, I guess so. But
What do you mean you ate it at home?
I don't know. I'm in a food coma, bro. I had too much food.
There's still another plate there. It's
Yeah,
all you.
His plate. Look at the plate placement, bro.
Bro, the disrespect. He has the food in between his legs. In
Brother.
between his feet.
Allow the man, bro.
No.
Brother, you have to train hard. Eat good, brother. Eat good.
In life, you have to respect. Respect the food around you, the people, everything. Okay.
This guy killed the vibe again, bro. Why don't you come
I
to
don't
our
know, who
podcast,
invited
Ash?
him, man? Who invited
I
him?
did. I did. 50, come here.
No. We'll leave him for episode 1,000.
Episode 10, fine.
1,000.
1,000.
I don't want people to see him before then.
then.
Just like One Piece, you know. You don't, there's 1,000 chapters, you still haven't seen it. Okay, so let's just get into let's do this week's topics. A lot of these are just gonna be like fight predictions. Let's just start. Leon Edwards versus Nate Diaz. When
Nathaniel.
I don't know when this was first announced. Sorry, I don't know when this is booked for, but it's pretty soon. I'm not sure when it
but
is.
Leon just fought.
Yeah, but it was like 2 rounds, and he poked Bilal. Remember his name?
Bilal Muhammad.
Bilal Muhammad is set to face, or like verbally agreed to face Damian Maia soon. So he's back. It looks like his eye is fine. But for Nate versus Leon, after Khamzat pulled out of the second fight or something, he started calling out all these people because nobody was agreeing to fight Leon. So Kobe didn't want to fight him. Usman, obviously, because he's a champion. Jorge was turning him down, right? He's like, I already gave you a 3-piece. So
And Soda.
And Soda. I don't. What else do I need to do, right? So he went on this Twitter rant where he like called out different people, and one of the people that he called out was Nate Diaz. And at the time when he did it, I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. Nate Diaz is like, why would he fight? Why would he fight Leon Edwards, right? What does he gain out of it?
You want to know why?
Hold on, I did all the calculations.
So did I.
Okay, we'll see. Hold on.
Okay,
Let me just finish the story time. So he messaged everybody, but nobody really ate on the tweets. And then I think that materialized into Bilal Muhammad taking the fight, and whatever, so on and so forth. Now, all these welterweights seem like there's fights being scheduled now, right? So
Yep.
Usman and Masvidal are set to face each other. Gilbert Burns and Wonder Boy are going to face each other, and then
Why are
now
you spoiling the podcast?
no, we'll talk about
Yeah,
predictions,
yeah.
but and now Leon versus Nate. So I think it's not that like 200 IQ. The reason why Nate took this fight, but what do you think? Why do you think he took it?
Book it. No, okay. It's gonna be Diaz versus Leon Edwards. Okay, if
Okay.
Diaz wins this, he's banking on Jorge beating Usman, and then you're gonna see Jorge versus Diaz rematch for the BMF title. And then if Diaz wins that, and if Conor beats Poirier, Diaz versus Conor 3.
Diaz versus Conor 3?
Yeah.
No,
two. No, 3.
3.
Yeah.
No, I think we're on a completely different train.
Maybe,
I'm thinking
yeah.
a different way.
Let's see.
I'm thinking Nate Diaz is taking this fight because of the lightweights, of the welterweights that are currently fighting, the top ones. Leon is probably the one that is the most available to fight. Is probably the best matchup for Nate Diaz, and gives Nate Diaz the opportunity to fight for the welterweight title if he beats Leon. Imagine this: Leon faces Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz picks him apart on the feet, wins the fight by decision, and now he calls out the winner of Jorge versus Usman.
Yeah, which they want to be Jorge.
Do you think the UFC wouldn't book Nate Diaz as a welterweight champion, welterweight championship fight?
Versus Jorge, yes.
Whoever, it doesn't matter.
Jorge's a bigger
Get
fight.
off this Jorge stuff.
BMF too.
That's not the point. Nate Diaz is not concerned with who wins the title. He's more concerned with, let me get to that title fight. And the easiest way for him to get a title fight is at 170. At 155, if he goes back down, who's he gonna fight to fight the title?
Smash.
Yeah, Smash is retired.
Yeah, I know.
But there's really, it's a longer road to get to the title at 155 than it is to 170. So if he goes to 155 and he fights, say, Conor's on a losing streak. If you beat Conor again, it doesn't really give you a 155 title fight, right? Like it showed, like Dustin Poirier beat Conor, he didn't get a title fight right away, right?
Well, he could have.
If Nate Diaz goes and faces Michael Chandler, he doesn't get a title fight right away. If he beats Charles Oliveira, he doesn't get a title fight. All those guys themselves haven't. All those guys have won fights themselves, right, during this time, and even those didn't guarantee them a title shot. Right? There was so much speculation, so much talk. There was so much going on, as opposed to 170, where these guys up until now weren't even willing to fight at all. Say Nate Diaz goes in there and beats Leon Edwards on the feet, which is completely possible. We can do more in depth about like the fight, how it goes. But if he goes in there and he beats Leon Edwards after what, it's five rounds. It's a co-main event.
I heard.
Yeah.
How's it 5 rounds?
He's changing the game. Nate Diaz. He's a draw. So if he goes there and he beats Leon Edwards, making him fight for the title makes a lot of sense, right? Yes, there's Gilbert Burns who just came off a championship fight and lost. There's Wonderboy who's never lost to Usman. But at the same time, giving Nate Diaz that fight in between, say, Wonderboy, or in between, say, a rematch with any of the other guys, right? Whether it be Gilbert Burns or whether it be with Colby or any of those guys, it kind of works to have Nate Diaz in that middle as that buffer, right?
Yeah.
Shut up, Bruce. Shut up, Bruce.
Shut up, Bruce, bro. Zero views podcast.
It's completely possible that they put that buffer in, and I think the UFC is fully aware of this. They're like, listen, if Nate Diaz wins this, we can have him main event a next card for the title and make so much money.
That's
right?
why they want the Jorge fight, because if that happens, bro, BMF 2, and then if Conor wins, bro, Conor versus Diaz 3.
Sure. So the matchup between Jorge might be appealing, but you also have to remember Usman hasn't lost a fight, right, before. If he loses this
And
fight,
where's Kevin Lee fit into all this, right?
hold on, it's 155.
Yeah, I know.
We're talking 170.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
So if Usman loses this fight, he does have a case for immediate rematch, right? Because he already beat Jorge. Has his undefeated streak in the UFC. So why wouldn't he get immediate rematch? So I think most likely the UFC is banking maybe, okay, if Nate wins and say like Usman wins, we can make that fight right away.
Yeah.
If Jorge comes, then maybe we can have a double, right, title fight.
Tag team
BMF, fight? And yeah, no, they have two fights: the BMF title fight, and then they have a welterweight championship fight. But there's so many opportunities. I think this fight may be going under the radar a little bit for that reason. Maybe a lot of people that I've seen, they've been talking about, okay, this is a fun matchup. I think Nate Diaz sees this as a huge opportunity. Yep. I think he's going in there knowing like, listen, I can go and get this another huge payday, right? The levels of not the McGregor matchup, but like a huge
I just find this weird though, because like even if he comes back and he fights Leon Edwards, like he fought against who is it? He fought against Jorge, right, for that fight, and he
got stopped early.
He just didn't look good.
He
got like destroyed.
So he's talked about that fight as well, where his game plan going into that fight wasn't the best for that matchup. He said that, I was trying to start fast and then slow it down or something. I forget what it was, right? But he talked about it. He said that his strategy for that fight was off, and that doesn't necessarily mean that if he changed his strategy he would have won. Right. But it just goes to the fact that he just didn't have a good night, right? I don't think if Jorge and Nate Diaz face each other 10 times, Jorge beats him 10 times, right? Or even 8 times. Yeah. I think it's like 60-40 for Jorge, especially at this point.
Well, to end it off, if you had to choose, who's winning this fight?
I think Leon.
Leon?
Yeah, I think Leon is just he has more motivation right now. He has a larger chip on the shoulder. Nate Diaz, yes, he's had these title fights, but he's never been able to consistently win these fights, right? Like he's won fights here and there.
Win, lose,
and he's looked very, very solid. But I wouldn't put that much stake into Nate Diaz. Now, if he wins, I wouldn't be surprised, right? Because especially on the feet, Nate is a lot more of a boxing style, and Leon Edwards is more of a like a kickboxer, right? But Leon likes to stay on the outside. He likes to like play in the clinch a little bit. He doesn't go to the ground at all. If Nate wins, I don't know if we really see him use takedowns, but he has a huge advantage on the ground. So if it goes to the ground, Nate has an opportunity to tap him out. Yeah. But how does it get to the feet? I don't think Leon even entertains going to the feet because he knows he's not good at
To the ground, you mean to the ground?
Yeah, sorry, to the ground.
Yeah.
So, how do you get there? That means that Nate Diaz would have to go for a double leg, for a single leg. I don't know if I see that either.
Book it.
Yeah, book it. Okay.
Nice.
Miocic Ngannou trilogy. So we talked about this before, where I was like, I don't think.
But do you want to see? Yeah, but like, do you want to see a third time? For Stipe or no?
I talked about how if Stipe doesn't get an immediate rematch, where does he go? Right? Does he go and start fighting other heavyweight contenders again? He's 38 years old. So what are you going to do? You're going to face him against Derek Lewis? I don't know if the UFC wants to kill off that momentum for Derek Lewis, right? Yeah. If Ngannou wants to fight soon, he has two options. He has John Jones and he has Derek Lewis. If you go and give Stipe Derek Lewis, you kill off Derek Lewis potentially, right, in that matchup. Or you make Derek Lewis in a star. But even then, Stipe, I don't know if he still has the desire to go through the rankings again. And I'm very confident that the UFC is not just going to give him another title shot rematch. They already did that. And how long it took and all the injuries and all the training camps and COVID this and but it took so long. The heavyweight division was held up for so long.
And even you want that damage on him too. Like he's been through wars.
Yeah, he's going to take time off as well. So one huge indicator is always the post press conference. The post press conference is where you kind of get an insight into what the UFC is thinking immediately. Yeah. Right. So if you watch the post press conference, Dana White instantly is talking about Ngannou versus Derek Lewis, Ngannou versus John Jones. Not once did you hear him talk about Ngannou versus Stipe 3. Right? So you never sorry.
But he had too much food.
So you never hear about rematch for Stipe. So that kind of leads me to think, especially now, there really hasn't been any talk about it. If it does happen, I was thinking if it does happen, it's because John Jones refuses to sign their contract or keep his contract or whatever it may be.
$100 million.
Yeah. He refuses to keep that contract, or somebody gets hurt. Right, those are the real possibilities. But now, the John Jones saga is very, very confusing. If you do you know Steve-O from Jackass? No, you don't know Steve-O. Anyways, so John Jones, I was just on YouTube. And I see this interview on my feed. John Jones on Steve-O's podcast.
The podcast, yeah. I think I might have seen it.
But yeah.
It's a little older though, right?
No, it's new.
Okay, never mind, wrong one.
Okay.
Wrong one.
So he went on the podcast and he talked about this situation where he wants more money, all this kind of stuff. And his main points, if you want to break it down, is I was promised that if I move up to heavyweight, I'm going to have an increase in pay. Yeah. Right. The second point was Daniel Cormier, when he moved up to heavyweight, his contract got increased. He got more money. Yeah. Right. 3, who knows, who validates whether or not the UFC actually gets the number of pay-per-views that they tell their fighters. Yeah. So he's saying, UFC just told me it's $500,000 pay-per-views, and for that amount of pay-per-views, I got this amount of money for that fight. But who's going to validate it? They're a private company, so on and so forth. And the last thing was he talked about how there's people in his gym who fight and train that are in the UFC who live at the gym because they don't have enough money. Yeah. And he talked about, I'm fighting. I'm also doing this because I'm trying to get more money for those guys, so on and so forth. Not more than 2 or 3 days, I think. A tweet goes out. Okay, did you see the tweet?
Was the thing was it Jones?
John Jones, yeah.
Was the thing was the millions or no?
No. That was before. I'm talking about a new one. He sent out a tweet. He said, "Just had dinner with with Dana White."
April Fools. It was thing. So he tweeted that, and then 2 minutes later he put April Fools.
Are you serious?
I swear to God.
Was that April Fools?
It was April Fools. Yeah.
Hold on.
He was trolling. He was trolling for
Where
that
he had a dinner with Dana White?
He was trolling for that one.
You're lying.
I swear, you can check it.
Wow. So
It's
he
on
just
Twitter.
fooled me then.
He fooled you, yeah. Do you think he was gonna get like a thing?
I thought
Sign that
he
easily?
said I had a dinner with Dana White and everything went well.
No, April Fools. You'll see it after. When
Hope
scroll
you
down.
guys had a good April Fools. What?
He was trolling.
Oh my god. Had a great dinner and the best conversation I ever had with Dana in a very long time. We got the deal done. Date to be announced soon.
And then he replied to it, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think he wrote April Fools. If you go in that tweet and then you go to replies, then you'll see it.
To the tweet that I just read?
Mm-hmm. Should
Hold
see
up.
it there.
Incredible night, brother. 2 days ago, that was April 2nd, no?
From what I saw, it was.
No, he
April
tweeted on
Fools.
April 2nd.
Can I see? Let me see.
At 1:04. Oh, okay. Because then he says it's 11:42 here in Albuquerque.
Yeah, he was trolling.
Oh, wow.
He didn't sign nothing, bro. But
Then why did Dayton White write incredible night, brother?
I don't know. I think he was trolling. I don't know.
Okay, whatever. So the saga keeps going on,
Yeah.
right? So I think John Jones is very confused. Sorry, no, hold on.
John Jones, book it for Samid. Book it.
I think I'm confused on what John Jones' platform is, right? I think he's trying to get more money for himself, but he adds in these other stuff that maybe he's not.
Do.
Yeah, maybe it kind of clouds what his message is. So he mentioned how there's other fighters that are in the UFC that actually live at the gym, right?
Yeah, like Hamzat.
But his what he's doing doesn't really affect those people. I think he mentions it because he thinks, okay, that might be a byproduct of me getting more money, right?
Yeah.
He just assumes like, okay, if I make more money, that means everybody else makes more money,
Cat.
right? And he thinks that that's a byproduct of what he does, but that's not necessarily true, right? And because of statements like that, it kind of clouds his message, and it leaves a lot of people confused, including myself. So he also talked about how his number and their number is not that far apart. So is he really making a fuss over 500,000, 400,000, 200,000? I don't know how much money he's making. He's making this entire saga over.
But like from what I heard, like he wants at least 10 million.
He wants at least 10 million, but he was making a lot before.
Yeah, but not 10 million.
Yeah, so how much was he making? He was
Probably
saying
2-3 million.
I remember him saying no, he's making more than
So
that.
like in the last fight with Stipe and Francis, Stipe made 1.1.
No, but those are just the commission ones. There's more money that they make. That's just the ones that are through the commission. Because there's pay-per-view points, because you're a champion. There's sponsorship money, right?
Yeah.
There's all these different things. So from what I've seen, the UFC rarely ever caves in, right? To more money demands. The only people they really caved in, right, that like basically held them up was two people. Jorge Masvidal for that Usman fight.
Yeah.
He was holding out for that first Usman fight. And he held out. And the reason why he got it was because it was on short notice. Yeah. The UFC was left with no option. The guy Kamaru Usman was in Abu Dhabi, and they needed a new opponent, right? So what option did they have? And the second one was GSP for the Bisping fight. Yeah. So GSP was holding out. He was saying, I want that middleweight fight. UFC didn't want to pay him that much money. They were concerned with him just winning and then leaving. They even put a clause in that said, hey, if you win the championship, you have to defend it. But he never fulfilled it.
Brother, I disagree.
So yeah, there's really not that many times that the UFC actually caves in. So for them to cave in, I think there has to be something like a large event. A lot of things have to crash into each other for it to actually happen.
But going back to the real topic,
Stipe versus Francis.
Yeah. So do you think we're gonna see that third fight? No.
I think you would see if the John Jones doesn't work out, Francis will face Derek Lewis, and then they'll try the John Jones fight again. And if that doesn't happen again, then they'll entertain Stipe.
What about DC?
DC, why not?
Poirier retired. Okay.
Wait, hold on. There was some other stuff too. Well, John Jones was talking about like he doesn't need to fight anymore, right? So that's another thing. John Jones, if you think about it, John Jones has made a lot of money in his time in the UFC. His purpose for fighting is like
Legacy.
yes, that's why he's trying to portray in his message is that I'm doing this more than just for the money, right? But then at the same time, his main concern is the money, right? So is it because of the principle? Is it because of legacy? Like I don't get it.
His issue is that like he talks, then he just talks too much.
Yeah.
Like he's like a small little like comment on everything.
Yeah.
And then like people get annoyed. What?
It's hard. It's hard to talk. It's hard to talk and send out a message without confusing and contradicting, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's contradicting himself. He clouds his message by adding on these different things, and that might just be because he just wants to talk about a lot of things, right? And he has a lot of issues on his mind, and he wants to voice all of them at once rather than just pick and choose.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know, but I think it'll be Ngannou versus Lewis. And then they'll try John Jones again. If not, then they'll throw in Stipe. And Stipe is going to be just chilling until then.
Being a firefighter.
Yeah. John Jones versus Ngannou. Will it happen?
Nobody asked. And it's not going to happen. Okay, no. I'm kidding, bro. I think it's going to happen, okay?
It's kind of...
Let me talk, okay? I want to say it today, okay? I want to say it for the next minute, okay?
Okay.
I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen next. I don't think you're going to see Francis versus Lewis anytime soon. You're going to see Francis versus John Jones.
Yeah.
It's going to be in August, okay? That's my first prediction.
You have to talk into the microphone.
In August, okay? And then I think
I don't know what you're so angry for.
It's going to be a big heavyweight fight. The contract has to be signed. It's going to be signed. What's wrong with this guy?
You see how close I am, right?
Yeah. Why don't you come tell us? How would you tell us how? Anyways, go on.
Yeah. It's not a minute. Keep talking.
Nice.
Okay, so it's hard to talk about these topics that we talk about without mentioning other aspects of the situation. But will John Jones versus Ngannou happen? There's a lot of ifs in the situation. John Jones wants an increase in pay. He feels like he's done enough in the light heavyweight division. He's done enough in the sport to garner a pay bump, right? Whether that be for like promises made to him, but also just like seniority, right? He wants more money, right? I'm going up to heavyweight. I'm doing something that's really not done very often. The only other person that's really done it successfully is DC, right? And DC did get a pay raise. John Jones versus Ngannou, because of there's so many question marks, I don't know if it happens next. I could see Derek Lewis happening next.
Because he's eating 11, bro. He's eating 11. What the hell? Yo, is this weird? I don't get it. Honestly, bro, I don't get it. He's eating 11.
Okay, well, what does that have to do with John Jones and Ngannou?
He's chewing on 11. What the hell?
Anyways, there's a guy behind the camera, and he just walked up and grabbed the lemon, and he's just eating it. He's like sucking on it. Okay, anyways.
Pause.
So, I could see Derek Lewis being thrown in there because Derek Lewis is down to fight, right? Especially for the title. He's on a hot streak, and he's always been a person that's been willing to fight. And he doesn't really get paid as much as all these other guys. The other option that I could see is Stipe fighting for that title. If things get sour with John Jones, and say with Derek Lewis, there's maybe there's injuries or like timelines don't work out, I think Francis versus Stipe could actually happen for the rematch.
Yeah, but you want to see it happen?
Now, yeah, sure, why not? It's 1-1. Why not?
Give Stipe a rest. Let the guy retire.
So
in peace.
that might be the timing, right? Maybe 8 months from now, this John Jones fight still is not resolved, and then they face Francis versus Derek Lewis, and Derek Lewis loses to Francis. Now, what are you left with? You're left with Francis. You're left with Stipe or John Jones.
Brock Lesnar.
So Brock Lesnar comes back into the USADA pool.
Why not, bro?
No, he has to face Islam Makhachev first.
Islam. Tell these guys.
So I right now it's very, very hard for me to say John Jones versus Francis Ngannou is going to happen next. There's just so many things going on right now, and the UFC never backs down, right? And the UFC does not care, just like you, right? Right now, it does not care what your demands are. They know what they're worth. They know what they are willing to pay their fighters, and they won't negotiate. There's only a couple of people that have done it. GSP made the UFC cave in with the Bisping fight,
and Jorge
Masvidal made them cave in for the Usman fight. There's a couple others, and Conor kind of made the UFC cave in, but they were more of like a partnership. They did something that there's never done before. Now, John Jones coming in and saying, "Hey, I want more money, or else I'm not going to fight Francis Ngannou." Well, the UFC is like, "Okay, whatever." Like Francis,
you hope, mate.
Francis Ngannou is going to make money for the UFC, regardless if he faces John Jones or not. Yes, it's a spectacle, but Francis versus all these other guys and knocking him out, all that kind of stuff, turns into its own thing. Do they necessarily need John Jones to fight Francis? Not really, right? It's a lot of hardcores that would like to see that. I don't know how much the public would be drawn to that fight. 1 million buys? I don't think it does 1 million buys. Maybe nowadays, actually, COVID.
But if it happens, will there be full crowd or no?
Yeah, in Florida, bro. All those guys are vaccinated or already had it already.
So am I.
Yeah. You don't have the second shot, though.
One's enough for me.
Okay, next topic. Conor versus Dustin 2. Confirmed for
wait, guys.
July.
He said 2. Okay, so if you want to get angry at me, listen.
Sorry.
Don't get angry at me. Look at this guy. Okay, it's always Hamid.
Conor versus Dustin 3. I'm gonna change it in our
on
documents.
1, 2, 3.
Conor versus Dustin 3 is actually confirmed now. So a lot of talks before we talked about speculate. Okay, what's gonna happen with this lightweight division? There's so much going on, right? Possibilities. Is Khabib gonna come back? Is Dustin just gonna be granted the title? Is Charles Oliveira gonna face Dustin? Islam Makhachev, will he get a top 15 opponent? He deserves.
DC, I'm deserve.
DC is deserve as well for a top 15 opponent in lightweight division. But now it's settled. The matchups are settled. The person that was left off, because we talked about there was like 5 guys in that equation, and I thought that maybe Max Chandler would be the one left off, but it was actually Justin Gaethje. So the matchup is Dustin versus Conor for a number 1 contender fight, I guess. But nothing confirmed. I'm just speculating. And then Charles Oliveira versus Justin Gaethje. Versus Michael Chandler
and Ferguson versus Beneil
Dariush. Yeah, that's not in the championship title picture yet. But so Oliveira versus Michael Chandler is for the vacant title. So now that that's settled, a lot of the talk was what happens with Dustin Poirier, right? He's the one that has like the longest win streak. Not longest win streak. He has like the hottest win streak, right? He's beat the most top opponents.
What, the win streak is hot? Or like
yeah, it's on fire. It's on fire. So Dustin Poirier beat Justin Gaethje already. He beat Conor now again for the first time. He beat
Max Holloway.
Max Holloway. The list goes on.
Max Chicken Breast Holloway.
What?
Max Chicken Breast Holloway.
Why chicken breast?
Because not blessed chicken breast.
What? That's the first time I've ever heard that. So there was a lot of speculation talking about it, but it's decided, and I thought that it was probably going to go. This was one of the options that it would go. They were just going to have a rematch with Conor McGregor, make it a third, a trilogy, and just to like settle the beef, but also to just get pay-per-view numbers. It's hard to say no to a Conor fight.
I think Conor will make that adjustment. I think he'll account for those.
Oh, you're doing prediction?
Well, yeah, we got to hurry it up.
What?
It's 4-minute topic. Anyways, I think he's going to make those quick adjustments for those calf kicks, and I think he's going to take this fight.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be 2-1 for Conor. You put it further, you put it closer.
I tell you, don't scream into it. Like, you see the waveforms? That's what you have to abide to. I'm the top, you're the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. Pause. So we can go into in depth. I think I'm going to make a lot of scripts for these fights.
1 views, 2 views, 4 views, 5 views.
I think a big thing that I'm going to talk about in those videos was Conor versus Dustin. In both the fights, leg kicks were landed, right? in the first fight before Dustin got KO'd, he landed 9 or 10 leg kicks. The difference between that fight and the second fight was the placement of the leg kicks. When Dustin was hitting Conor, it wasn't in the calf. It was on the thigh area, right? The knee to the thigh area. Even though Dustin made that in the second fight, Dustin made the adjustment and went lower on the kicks.
Yeah.
I don't know if Conor's going to be able to, in the third fight, avoid leg kicks at all, right? Because he's shown that not only in his Dustin fights, but also in his other fights, he gets kicked a lot in the legs, right? The reason why is because he has a wide base, right? And he leaves his front leg out there. He uses that also as his power, as his base to throw his crosses, right, with his power left hand, and also with jabs. So what's going to be very difficult to predict or forecast in this fight is, what does Conor do to change that aspect of the fight, right? He's going to get leg kicked, but how is he going to deal with it this time?
He has to bounce.
Right?
That's all.
Yeah, but even when he was bouncing, he was still getting leg kicked. And a lot of time people were saying, oh, he changed his style. Yes and no, right? In his other fights, he would have a more like hop in, hop out stance. But as the rounds went long, he would default back to that one that we saw versus Dustin and Conor, right? Like there's a lot of variables in this. So we'll make videos going in depth and more analysis on this. But I think Dustin probably wins this fight again. Wow. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like he's going to calf kick him again and it's going to be the same situation. I think Dustin's just going to outlast him, and leg kicks will play a factor in this. I think Conor will be more defensive, won't eat as many willingly, but over 3, 4, 5 rounds, he's going to be outpointed. Topic number 5, Gilbert Burns versus Stephen Boy. I didn't even do it on purpose. Stephen Boy Thompson.
Yo, listen, Mr. Thompson, come to our podcast.
Come.
Why not?
Why not? We'll fly him out.
We will. I will send you a picture of yourself for you to autograph.
Honestly, yeah. Hey, I'll do that. That's a cool idea, isn't it?
Have you seen this gym before or no?
No.
It's a nice gym, bro.
Where is it?
Well, like wherever he lives.
New Mexico, maybe? I don't know.
It's a nice gym. It's like
no
cafeteria area. There's like big MMA gym, big boxing gym.
How's the food?
Looks good.
It looks good.
Looks good.
Yeah, Stephen Boy, Wonder Boy Thompson is scheduled to face Gilbert Burns. Stephen Boy is coming off like an injury. I think he broke his hand, and that was one of the reasons why he couldn't fight Leon Edwards on short notice. It was because he was still healing up from his previous injury. Stephen Boy is I was going to keep calling Stephen Boy. Stephen Boy is a very interesting case because out of all the top contenders at welterweight, he's the only person not to face and lose to Usman, right? So he has a case to fight for the title. Now he's always been a fighter that other guys have tried to avoid because of his like weird style. He's very karate based. It's hard to hit him. Very good takedown defense. He would be a champion if Tyron Woodley wasn't around at that time. Just to say that he faced Tyron Woodley, he came close to beating him, but he just got out decisioned by Tyron Woodley. But Stephen Wonderboy Thompson has a chance to to get back at the top, right? How do you get a title fight? How do you get a title fight? Is you beat top contenders to get that title fight. So Gilbert Burns just came off a title fight against Kamaru Usman.
Gilbert Burns
and Gilbert Burns just came off a title fight and lost to Kamaru Usman. If you beat Gilbert Burns, there is a case for you to go and fight Kamaru Usman because you just beat the former number 1 contender.
Yep.
Do I think that they would give it? It depends, right? If Nate Diaz goes and faces Leon Edwards and beats Leon Edwards, I think that the UFC would give the title fight to Nate Diaz over
Cue Vince
Wonderboy.
McMahon's theme song.
What?
No chance.
So I think Nate, if he does that, he will get the title fight over Leon Edwards. Over
Thompson.
Wonderboy. Now, if Wonderboy beats Gilbert Burns, and now you have Usman beat Jorge, and you have Leon beat Nate Diaz, I don't know if Leon is guaranteed to have a title fight. The UFC has not been the biggest supporter of Leon Edwards.
Falling in and out of love and in and out of love with you.
That's Tyron Woodley. That's
I know,
not
but like, it makes sense though with his situation. Yeah, right. It does.
Whatever you say. So, so Leon Edwards is his relationship with the UFC has been very, very strange. He's been on the long layoff. There's been like incidences like how the UFC took him off the rankings because of inactivity, even though there's been other fighters that have been way more inactive and have remained on the rankings.
Brock Lesnar.
So Leon Edwards' relationship with the UFC, I don't know how well it is, and I don't know if they would give a title fight over to Wonderboy, like an opportunity. So I think if Wonderboy wins this fight and Nate Diaz loses to Leon Edwards, I think Wonderboy gets the next title shot. Saying if Usman and Jorge Usman wins as well.
Man, like
there's a lot of math and
but like he deserves that fight, man. Like,
Wonderboy?
Yeah, he does. But which way would it go? Who would win? Book it, and then we'll tell you.
Book it. Honestly, you're right. But the question was Gilbert versus Stephen Wonderboy.
Stephen Boy.
We'll do another video where we look into like who wins.
Listen, bro, you can't bet against Stephen Boy. You can't bet against Stephen Boy. Vicious KO.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's just like because he's lost to Tyron Woodley, right? He had that situation, and then he also got knocked out by Anthony Pettis, right? Yeah. Which is like a smaller welterweight as well.
Yeah, but where's Pettis now?
Yeah, he's a PFL.
PFL. He
didn't sign his contract. He didn't want to fight there at UFC anymore.
I know, I heard.
Anyways, yeah, I don't know who wins this. I have to do more research and stuff. But Steven versus Gilbert Burns. I think if Steven wins this and a couple other things happen in the mix, I think he gets a title shot next. It wouldn't be that crazy to me. Last topic. Holland versus Vettori.
God, yo,
man.
I would be lying to you if I've ever watched any of them fight. Okay, no, listen. I watched a Holland fight. Okay, I watched his fight against
who?
Brunson.
Yeah, the last one.
Yeah,
it was Derek Brunson.
It was a very funny fight.
He got hugged the entire match.
But he just fought though. So why is he fighting again?
He took very minimal damage.
Yeah,
short notice. He's always been an very active fighter.
And
big opportunity.
And Vettori is basically Rocky.
Victoria's is Rocky?
Basically Rocky.
What do you mean?
Rocky, but like thing. A Balboa.
What about, how's he Rocky Balboa?
He's like Italian, right? So.
Yeah. What? He's not Italian American. He's Italian. He's like from Italy. He lives in Italy. Or I don't know if he lives there anymore, but it's not. Anyway.
Rocky, Adrian.
The one is from Philadelphia. The other one is from.
Yeah.
So this is a short notice fight because Darren Till, our guy, he broke his collarbone.
This time you have to do it.
Give back.
This time you have to do it though. Okay.
No, I'm not doing it.
Sweet Caroline. Come on.
Darren Till broke his collarbone.
You do it every single one. What's wrong with you? Why not?
Darren Till broke his collarbone and had to drop out. And there was conversations of other people filling in for Darren Till on the short notice.
Please.
And the person that picked up the phone and accepted the call, or I guess I don't know, maybe he called, but was Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland is coming off he was facing Derek Brunson, and that was kind of his like coming out party where he was going to. That's not what I mean. His opportunity to ascend into the
make
top,
a real statement.
Ascend into the top 5, maybe top 8 of the middleweights. But then he kind of got his weaknesses exposed. His grappling game is just really not there. Now he's coming in. He's going to face Marvin Vettori, who
it's not Martin, right?
It's not Martin. It's Marvin. So he is the biggest thing he's known for is losing to Israel Adesanya, and when Israel Adesanya was like earlier in his career, and Marvin still believes that
Look at this guy, bro. Look at this guy.
he's just being a fool. There's another guy being a fool over there. But Marvin lost the decision to Israel, but he contested. He's like, "Oh, I didn't lose that." The reason why is because in that fight, Marvin did go for a lot of takedowns. He did chase for a lot of takedowns. So Marvin Vettori, he chased a lot of takedowns in that fight versus Israel Adesanya. The reason why I bring that to you is not because I'm saying that he lost to Israel Adesanya and he was able to take Israel Adesanya down and now he's a wrestler.
You were there or no?
Huh?
Like, can you say it again?
I bring this to you because no, I don't bring this to you because I'm saying that Marvin Vettori is this elite wrestler. My point is that he has and shown that he does grapple in fights, not just in the Israel fight, but all other ones he's had in his UFC career. Now, do I think he's going to stand there and bang with Kevin Holland? I don't think so. I think he's going to try to do very similar to What are you doing?
It's the way you say stuff, man. I don't know. Like
that's the terminology.
Yeah,
I don't
you're
get
right.
it.
You're right. Sorry, go on.
Oh my god. I don't think he's gonna go in there and stand with Kevin Holland because he knows Kevin Holland has this unorthodox style, right? He doesn't necessarily have the crispest fundamentals. A lot of them are big winding punches. A lot of them are like these weird techniques, right? That he throws, but they do work. He's very, very powerful in both hands. So I think Marvin actually plays it very, very safe. I think he goes in there and takes down Kevin Holland, grinds out the fight, and just wins it. Especially considering this is a short notice fight, right? This is a fight where Marvin can't really afford to lose, right? Marvin has been working for a very long time now, since that Israel fight, trying to get back to top contendership. He's trying to make a name for himself. If he goes in there and he tries to play a game that Kevin Holland is clearly better than him, right?
Striking, yeah.
I don't know if I don't think he does that. Now, I might be underrating Marvin's striking game. He might think, hey, listen, my striking game is much more fundamentally sound and crisper than Kevin Holland's. But if I was his coach, hey, Derek Brunson,
don't do it.
Don't do it. Derek Brunson is the template of how to fight Kevin Holland. Any other way, you're playing with fire.
Well, hopefully we have Khabib in his corner.
I don't know if Khabib might be there. You never know.
You never know, bro. And if he's there,
I haven't checked the Khabib watch.
KhabibWatch.com.
The Twitter page. I'm sure there's a page that goes over.
Khabib Watch? Maybe.
Yeah, where's Khabib today?
I own it.
You own it?
Yeah.
Okay. Where is he?
Dagestan.